Hosted by Siatini, Uganda, the dialogue attracted key stakeholders including private sector players, civil society organizations, Uganda Revenue Authority, as well as senior government officials that attended both physically and virtually. The dialogue was looking at how to address the issues of debt and tax harmonization within the East African region.
We discussed, for example, that on the issues of tax harmonization. There are issues which came up to see that the taxes of the region are harmonized so that they don't hurt our private sector, they don't hurt people who are trading within the region, they don't hurt the cross-border traders who are also here. So those issues were discussed, were addressed, because the private sector also had so many questions, but they were answered by URA, Revenue here, by the Ministry of Finance, but also because online we had some officials from the East African community. So all these issues were addressed, they were raised, and at the end of the meeting we agreed that, because this meeting was a sort of a platform, to inform people that out there is a community, that there is a market out there. We can be able to trade, we can be able to engage.
Uganda finds itself in a tricky situation in the sense that the debt is already at levels where it is constraining the budget, as the good portion of the revenue collected ends up into debt servicing, and so addressing the balance of trade, especially for the regional players, is still a big concern.
And there's been a lot of conversation of import replacement. But you want to look at what can you replace? What can Uganda sell? Even before you talk about import replacement, how can we increase our exports? Because when you look at where we import from, a good portion of our imports, over 30%, is literally coming from two countries, China and India. So what is it that we're picking from China and India? Is that something we can do here? That becomes quite a problem, because we're still importing drugs, we're importing vehicles, we're importing machinery. Fine, we also import mobile phones, which we also need, because now they are doing a lot of business, they are no longer a gadget. These are things we may not replace easily. Now you want to say, if our import bill continues at $7 to $7.5 billion per year, what can we sell? Our exports are still stuck at about $4 to $4.5 billion. So it is a big difference of about $3 billion as a shortfall. Can we increase on our exports to whosoever is buying from us? And a lot of our exports are still agricultural products and then some manufactured, light manufactured. But main thing is it's within the region.
Most taxes in the region are not uniform, which is likely to increase the cost of conducting business. The only tax that has been standardized at a rate of 30% is the income tax, which was suggested in the budgets for Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. The implementation of the remaining taxes, such as value-added tax, varies, which has an effect on cross-border commerce.